Hallo Leute, welcome back to Deutsch Flicks, where German word order stops being a nightmare.
Die Satzstellung ist falsch. Wo ist das Verb? Immer das Verb am Ende. Du verstehst es nicht.
So at A1 you learned ich denke, ich weiß, ich sage, but at A2 level Germans expect more information. What do you think? What do you want to say? Or what do you know? So that's exactly where Nebensätze mit das comes in. So today you will learn what does das mean, when to use it, verb position in Nebensätze, and whether you can start a sentence with das. Los geht's. Okay, Nebensätze mit das. Before we discuss das, let's discuss Nebensätze once again. It's not like you're seeing this word for the first time. Nebensätze means subordinate clause or dependent clause, which is depend on the main clause of the sentence. That means they cannot stand alone, they are always dependent on the sentence, the main clause. And das means that. So just imagine someone comes to you and say that I am tired. Now obviously you will not understand without the context. So hence I'm saying that Nebensatz is always dependent on Hauptsatz, main clause. Now let's see how we can connect two sentences using das. Es ist wichtig, it is important, du lernst jeden Tag Deutsch, you learn German every day. So firstly your task is to identify Hauptsatz and Nebensatz, like where will das go. So das will go with this sentence. So that means we have identified the Nebensatz in a sentence. And es ist wichtig becomes my Hauptsatz. Now we'll connect them using das. Es ist wichtig, dass du lernst jeden Tag Deutsch. Gibt es hier einen Fehler? Is there any mistake here? You can pause the video and think about it. So do you remember the topic Nebensätze mit weil? Weil means because. Wherein we learnt there is a golden rule that we have to follow with all the Nebensätze, with all the connectors that form Nebensätze, which is your conjugated verb goes to the end. So that means we have to bring the conjugated verb, which is lernst, at the end of the sentence. Now the correct answer will be dass du jeden Tag Deutsch lernst. So I will write this rule once again. So do not bring this verb ist at the end, no. In the Nebensatz you have to find out the conjugated verb and bring it to the end. So if you pay attention to this sentence structure, I'm using initially Hauptsatz, then comes comma, then comes the connector das, and my conjugated verb will be at the end. Now we will discuss the uses of das, although you might be knowing them if you speak English. So basically wherever you use that in English, you can replace it with das in German. But we'll still go ahead and discuss the uses so that you get to know more sentences using das. So das can be used for facts, beliefs, or whenever you want to express your assumptions. Zum Beispiel, for example, ich weiß, I know, du hast Maria getroffen, you met Maria. So this is a fact. Now I will connect these two sentences using das. All I have to do is put comma here, and then the connector das, and I just have to bring my conjugated verb, which is hast, at the end of the sentence. And I can say, ich weiß, dass du Maria getroffen hast. I know that you've met Maria. Now for beliefs, you can take this example. Glaubt, he believes, spricht fließend Deutsch. Fließend means fluent. So he speaks fluent German. So if I want to connect the sentence, I just have to put comma here, then introduce the connector das here, and bring my conjugated verb, which is spricht, at the end of the sentence. Glaubt, dass fließend Deutsch spricht. Also, one more thing, it is better you make this T small and this E also small, because we are putting comma. Okay, so sentence is still going on, it's continuous, so we cannot make the first letter capital of the pronoun. And we can also use das for expressing assumptions. Zum Beispiel, ich denke, I think, sie arbeitet bei BMW. She works at BMW. So I'll connect these two sentences. Firstly, I have to put comma. Then I have to use the connector das. And then I have to bring my conjugated verb, which is arbeitet, at the end of the sentence. And you can make this letter as small. Ich denke, dass sie bei BMW arbeitet. So first sentence is for facts. Second sentence is for beliefs. And third sentence is for assumptions. Now obviously you can use multiple sentences or maybe synonyms for these verbs to express facts, beliefs, or assumptions. Now das can also be used to express judgment, opinion, or emotion. So maybe we can discuss one example for opinion. How can you express opinion? Ich bin der Meinung. Ich bin der Meinung means it literally translates to I am of the opinion, or it simply means in my opinion. So it's better you learn this sentence by heart. So there's one grammatical structure hidden in this sentence which can be discussed at B1 level. For now, you just mug up this. If you want to say in my opinion, ich bin der Meinung. Deutsch ist kinderleicht. Kinderleicht. Kinder means children, leicht means easy. So kinderleicht means child's play. German is child's play. So once again, I have to put comma first, then use the connector das, and bring my conjugated verb ist at the end. So ich bin der Meinung, dass Deutsch kinderleicht ist. And I'm not going to make this D small because German is a noun. Deutsch, das ist ein Nomen. And in German language, first letter of every noun should be capital. Now we'll come back to the previous page. Now what if you want to start your sentence with das? First of all, is it possible or not? Ist das möglich? Is it possible? So the answer is yeah. Das ist möglich, that's possible, but using das at the very first place is not that common in everyday speech, or at least while you're speaking German. But you might hear authors using das at the beginning of the sentence. Let's say if you're reading any fairy tale or any novel, or maybe you're reading a newspaper. So if I am starting my sentence with das, I have to follow verb comma verb rule. Now what is verb comma verb rule? So first of all, write this sentence as it is. Dass du jeden Tag Deutsch lernst. So like I said, we have to follow verb comma verb rule. We have verb, now we will put comma, and now we will need another verb from the main clause. So I'll write ist, and then who is conjugating the verb sein as ist? It is s. So I'll write s and then remaining part of the sentence. So we have verb, there is comma, and then there is verb. So you have to follow verb comma verb rule. Verb from the subordinate clause, Nebensatz, and then you put comma, and then you require a verb from the Hauptsatz. Now if you have understood this, there are more sentences on the next page, and you can bring das at the beginning of the sentence. You can pause the video and I will start telling the answers in 5 seconds. So for the first one, it should be dass du Maria getroffen hast, comma, weiß ich. This should be the answer. For second one, Nummer 2, dass fließend Deutsch spricht, comma, glaubt er. Check your answer. Now Nummer 3, dass sie bei BMW arbeitet, comma, denke ich. And Nummer 4, dass Deutsch kinderleicht ist, comma, and then bin ich der Meinung. So these should be the answers. So basically what I am doing is I am bringing the main clause, these main clauses at the end of the sentence, and I'm making sure that I'm using the verb first, and then the subject of the sentence, and then the remaining part of the sentence. So in everyday speech, you rarely start with das. People usually put the main clause first. But in writing, books, news, or formal speech, starting with das is common and correct, and it emphasizes the idea. Now there is one practice exercise that you have to solve, and we are going to revise both weil and das. Weil means because, das means that. So what you're supposed to do, you have to find out whether you will go with weil or you will go with das. And we'll discuss this exercise after 5 seconds. You can pause the video. Okay, so Nummer 1, ich 18 bin. So that means I am 18. Darf ich Alkohol trinken? I am allowed to drink alcohol. So this will be the reason. So we will go with weil. So that means I am allowed to drink alcohol because I am 18. Nummer 2. Isst einen Apfel. He eats an apple. Hunger hat. So hat Hunger means he is hungry. So this can also be the reason. We will go with weil. So he is eating an apple because he is hungry. Now Nummer 3. Ich weiß. Now this is a fact. I know that. What do I know? Paris in Frankreich ist. Paris is in France. Nummer 4. Ich bin mir sicher. I am sure. Es morgen regnet wird. It will rain tomorrow. So this can be your judgment, and you can go with das. I'm sure that it will rain tomorrow. Ich bin mir sicher means I am sure. Nummer 5. Ich keinen Hunger habe. I do not have hunger. Komme ich nicht mit ins Restaurant. I will not come to the restaurant. So because I'm not hungry, this can be the reason I'm not coming to the restaurant. We'll go with weil. Nummer 6. Meine Schwester hat gesagt, my sister said. And if she's saying something, then we will use that because you need extra information. What is she saying? Sie mir bei den Hausaufgaben hilft. She will help me with the homework. So we will go with das. Nummer 7. Unser Lehrer ist spät. Our teacher is late. Den Bus verpasst hat. It means he missed the bus. So we are getting the reason weil. Because he missed the bus, he is late. Now Nummer 8. Ich glaube, I believe. You will use that. Das. Dass du nicht genug Geld für ein neues Auto hast. That you do not have enough money for a new car. Genug Geld means enough money. Nummer 9. Ich gehe nach Hause. I'm going back home. Ich müde bin. Ich bin müde means I'm tired. So you're getting the reason. Weil. Nummer 10. Das Buch hat mir nicht gefallen. That means I did not like the book. Now probably you'll get the reason as langweilig ist. So langweilig means boring. The book is boring. So we will go with weil. You can let me know your doubts from this practice exercise in the comment section and I'll answer. And that's a wrap on Nebensätze mit das. Now try spotting the sentences using das maybe if you're watching any Netflix show or any YouTube video or you're reading any book. Until then, sprich viel, mach Fehler, lern schneller. Talk a lot, make mistake, learn faster. Bis bald. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.